So if we now, again, doesn't matter if it's the negative loop or the positive loop, there is one expression, the first natural law expression, right, where we will go through, okay? And again, doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. The expression is, the first one is the generative polarity expression. That is the force that we use to set all of our other events in motion. That is the first step, and you can call it the caption of the loop you will enter. Okay, the force that we use to generate or create the quality of your overall life experience. Okay, can be positive in here or negative in here. If it's positive, and that's obviously what you should aim for, then you truly start to care or love something, right? And that will open your pathway to true consciousness. If you really care about something, right, you want to learn about it. You open to intake true knowledge because you really care about it. And that's where true consciousness, awareness of something starts to develop. Care love is the force which helps you to expand your overall consciousness and to become open to truth. Again, if you don't care, if you simply say, I don't care about that shit, you can never ever gain true consciousness about something, especially not the truth about how things really are. Only if you care, if you really put in the work. Again, we talked about it, the mind, obviously first the heart, the mind, and the guts. Then you start to put in the actions and you will develop consciousness about something. That's the first positive loop if you're conscious about it. Again, in regards to natural law, care, overall law, for again, if you truly care about something, should be seen as the expansive force for consciousness. It is the force that helps you to become open to truth and expand your awareness. On the other flip side to it, the negative side, you might think it is hate, right? Because if it's care or love, it might be hate. It is not that, right? So think about, what is the thing that prevents consciousness? If you're not conscious, what are you then in this state? It stops you from growing and keeps you where you are, right? So if you think about the different or the opposite of consciousness, it is fear. Fear is nothing else that you're afraid of something that is not even real. If you're sitting on your bed and you're afraid, having fear of like in the dark and letting your arm hang off the bed or stuff like that, you're literally afraid of something that's not even there because you're afraid of the potential future, which is not reality. You're not conscious that nothing is under your bed. Again, like now we're talking about like a 12-year-old, but it's fine just to give you the example about that, right? Same thing with trading. If you feared about losing money, that just means you're not conscious, you're not having the awareness of what's going on. You don't follow your checklist, you don't have a true rule set, you don't have guidelines, you don't follow step-by-step guidelines, you don't follow risk management, and you don't have a clear, proper strategy, you backtest the fuck out of it. Because if you would have all these things in place and gain true consciousness, why would you ever be in fear? Make sense, right? So that's why fear is the force which influences you to become closed to truth and which ultimately shuts down your awareness. Only if you're having fear, that's where your awareness is zero, because you're just afraid of something that's not even reality. Okay, so fear leads to unconsciousness, and unconsciousness, you can identify. If you're like, I don't want to look at that. That can't be true. I don't want to hear that. I don't want that to be true. Like, I'm afraid of doing this and this and this. I can't do blah, blah, blah. This and this and this. That's not possible. All that stuff, that's all fear of something. And if you talk to someone and they say some sort of like, I don't want to look at that, or that can't be true, you immediately know, okay, they're in the first loop of negativity. It doesn't matter what you say to these persons, they're closed off to reality. They don't want to know, they're not open to receive true knowledge because they're having fear of something. They're completely unconscious about reality and are very closed mind. Okay, so most people are fearful with the responsibility that comes with knowledge, and that now is very, very important about your trading. Okay, so really try to imagine yourself in this position, and if you can relate to that. Most people are fearful of having to act based upon knowledge. So if you received the lit knowledge, obviously our standard we trading is very, very high information you receive is the top-notch information you ever get. This intraday mastery, that shit is obviously very impressive, and there's no step higher than that. Some people are literally having the fear of like, oh shit, now I have to trade like that. Now I have to catch 1 to 10s on a daily basis. They're having the fear because they think they have to act based on the good knowledge they have. Right? So that's again why you're becoming a better and better trader over time. You can develop this fear where you think, oh shit, now I'm trading for 5 years and blah, 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 this and this. I have to be successful. And you're making yourself the own barrier in your head because you think you have to be successful based on your experience, based on your knowledge you already have, or based on the education you received. So if you're finding yourself in that trap, in that fear, you know you have to go out of this loop and start to revise of how far you've came, of what you know, what you knew 1 year ago, without what you, the rule sets you follow, the guidelines, the checklist, the strategy, the backtesting, the confidence, the whole community you're in. You have to revise everything and start to realize, okay, it is good, it is fine if you don't catch 1 to 10s on a daily basis, because no one will expect that from you. Okay, so don't put yourself into this pressure situation where you think you have to be an intraday master and you have to be a millionaire by this year, because that's not what it is. Just because you have very good and very high in education, that doesn't necessarily mean that everyone has to act upon it. Of course, you should act upon the knowledge, but again, the pressure you're building yourself is not needed. Okay, so if you start to realize yourself in this fear, that's when you have to build back the confidence for the strategy, the confidence about the rule sets, the guidelines. Again, use that checklist, use the templates, use the entry helper, use all the other step-by-step processes to gain that confidence that eliminates this fear and start to truly develop consciousness.